worth everything. And that they would have this willingness to give everything for the sake of the kingdom. And you know what? Some of them, in the end of their lives, they lost their lives because of their commitment to the gospel. So at some point, most of them, they got it. They got it. They understood. I hope that we will get it, that we'll grasp hold of that the kingdom is so worthwhile. You know, the next one, I don't know if it's a principle, but I called it the example principle. Because people follow what they see, right? Do you want to raise your kids well? You know the best way to do it, right? Set the example. How you live your life is going to have a greater impact on your kids than what you tell them to do and how you tell them that they should live. You know? The example principle. The only example, there was one example that Jesus said that he was giving, where he said intentionally, this is an example that I am giving you. Do you know what that was? It was this. He was washing their feet. That is the example that he gave to his disciples. What more powerful of an example could there be than that? And the other example of Christ that's mentioned in the scriptures, this isn't one that Jesus said was his example, but Peter said in 1 Peter 2:21, he said, to this you were called, because Christ suffered for you, leaving you an example that you should follow in his steps. Wow. The example that Christ gave us, two of them, washing feet and suffering, were the examples. So guys, I tricked you today. So I'm sorry, I tricked you. I said that this was about leadership, and maybe you were expecting some sort of principles that you could apply in your job or whatever, and you can. But the truth is that Christ's example of leadership and the example of leadership throughout the scriptures is not one of promotion and being above others and being in charge and being the leader. Instead, it's service. So as followers of Jesus, you know, we do that. We follow in his footsteps. And fortunately, we don't have to go to the cross, right? He has done the heavy lifting for us. The hard work, the hardest thing has been done. We just get to do the things like, you know, inviting others and serving with a gift of hospitality, as many of you are going to do, you know, at Alpha, making meals for people, welcoming newcomers, making coffee, and sometimes cleaning up dishes or preparing slides. Like, you know, these are the things that we do on a weekly basis, you know, as a church, and definitely are always looking for people to serve in so many different areas, you know. So I just want to encourage you guys, invite you guys to jump in there, but I especially just, no matter what you do, whatever it is, I hope that you'll come at it with this, that we get to. We get to. Because it is an honor and it is a privilege to be able to serve others, so that we can create an atmosphere where God can move and work as he wants to work in our midst. And that's the beauty of it. And so we pray for one another. We lift one another up. And, you know, when we're down and discouraged, we, encourage one another in those things. And, you know, these are the things that matter in the kingdom. And serving is a kingdom activity that propagates the attitude of Jesus in our midst. So let's all stand together. So I gave you these these terry cloths. And what's that? Yeah. So Jack's wiping his sweat with it. Sure. You should wipe someone else's sweat with it, though. No, these are just for you guys to take with you. Put them in your pocket. And every time that you reach in your pocket this week, I hope that you'll feel that terry cloth. And it'll just be a reminder to you that Christ came to serve. And that is our role and our calling in the kingdom, is to be his leader servants to this world that's around us. Amen? Amen. So stick that in your pocket. A vision.